Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Colorful and 120 taking place here on Turtle Rock. Here we have Colorful spawning as the blue Night Elf player here at the 9 o'clock position. Meanwhile, 120 spawning as the red Undead. Undead versus Night Elf, cheering for the Undead player. If it ain't Orc, Undead work. Alright, well, we'll see who is going to come out ahead here as we are looking at, where is an Acolyte? How come no Acolytes are being trained? A little bit of a misstep there, or I'm not sure about that. Maybe it was the timing. Getting that earlier Ziggurat, Altar of Darkness, Crypt, I don't know my Undead build orders. Perhaps there is a little bit of a delay in getting that Acolyte up and running, and you just can't straight turn them out. Altar of Darkness. Well, should be completed here in just a second. We should be looking ghouls, at least at the very start, and we'll see what the Death Knight is hoping to do. Meanwhile, on the opposite end, we are going into a Demon Hunter this time around. Excuse me, not that a Demon Hunter is particularly different or unusual for this particular matchup. Now, this is the first game I'm casting on Turtle Rock today, so for any of you guys who are new to WarCraft 3, wherever you've been, you're joining the party 14 years late. Anyways, for any of you guys new to WarCraft 3, Turtle Rock has significantly more creeps than Terranistan. And because of that, and because of the powerful items from this particular map, all of these gargantuan sea turtles dropping very powerful consumables, the Ogre Magi's being relatively easy to take down and dropping very useful permanent items, you end up getting level 4 and level 5 battles earlier on because you're able to go ahead and do creeping. Now there's two options to open up and play. Really, there is either option A, you do your creeping and you try to outrace your opponent, or B, you try to harass your opponent, or any combination in between. I am expecting that Blade Master to get to level 2, maybe even level 3, and then do a little bit of harassing, trying to contain the Undead levels. Undead players generally are behind on hero level, but then make up for it a little bit later. This side is the head, this side is the tail. I asked my daughter and she agrees. You know, the head is a little bit more pointy, right? If you're looking at the Turtle Rock minimap. Anyways, Death Knight down across over here. An interesting choice to go for Unholy Aura first. Unholy Aura means that, well, you are going to be able to walk around much more quickly, but at the same time, you cannot Death Coil to heal your units. Because when you post on, always put a subtitle, like name them how you do. Then last game, example for surprise big battle ending. Well, I don't want to give anything away. Normally, I just number the videos, but I haven't been able to update the numbers lately. And, well, yeah, you know, that's pretty much it. At the most, I will put highly recommended if I believe a particular game is really worthy of being watched. Death Knight comes across. Death Coil saves the ghoul at the last possible second. Beautifully done. Another mana burn onto that Death Knight. Death Knight now trying to get away. Does not have boots of speed. Is he going to try to buy those boots? No, he sells some items and he is able to get away. He's going to be able to launch a Death Coil to save a low hit point ghoul, or before he gets mana burned. No, he's not even bothering to do that. Heading back around, and where is he going? I do not know. Skeletal minions looking to get away back from the other side. Then maybe you will get new viewers who stumble because of keywords. Yeah, maybe. If I do, you know what? I think there is such a small market for WarCraft 3 that if you're looking for WarCraft 3 videos, then you pretty much already know who I am and have watched a couple of my videos. Alright, Death Knight gonna go after the Forest Troll back down across here. Demon Hunter looking to finish this off. Does pick up that powerful permanent item, Ring of Regeneration on a Demon Hunter. And anytime you have some sort of regeneration item on a high armor unit, that does tend to go very well for you. Essentially, 2 hit points or 50 hit points on a 10 armor unit is more valuable than 50 hit points on a 0 armor unit. And if you're constantly just regenerating some of that damage that is being dealt, it makes it that much harder. skeletal minion looking to try and finish off some of these wisp. It looks like he's just going to be standing right there. Demon Hunter unable to get into that position to actually gain melee attacks, so the wisp are being forced to pull away. Back down to the other side. Let's take a look at this here. Death Knight looking to pull back again. Archers are just poking apart, and perhaps was trying to do a little bit of a trap right there, hoping that his opponent was going to be going for a Naga Sea Witch. Instead, it is going to be a Lich back at the base here. The archers, I believe, were shadow melded in order to trap a Naga Sea Witch if it was that second hero. 120 didn't fall into that trap. As we're taking a look at the Demon Hunter now looking to finish off the remainder of this giant and gargantuan sea turtle creep camp. Powerful consumable item, looking most likely for a potion of greater healing or a potion of invulnerability. The mana stealing, not that great. Neither is potion of greater mana. Scroll of the Beast is passable depending on your timing, as you know your opponent is going to be going for destroyers eventually. Alright, ghouls now making their way out across. Death Knight wanting to get to level 3. Demon Hunter is going to come in across, get a mana burn, unable to get a death coil off as a 100-point mana burn just drains all of the mana from that Death Knight. Skeletal minions quickly used up here. Are we see a Frost Nova? Yes, there goes one unit. Death Knight gets up to level 3. Another mana burn could get underway as the Naga Sea Witch tries to slow things down in order to allow those units to head back. Gargantuan Sea Turtle still joining in. It looks as though a little bit of damage being added back and forth as the Naga Sea Witch gets to level 2. Death Knight joins back over, gets mana burn for all of his efforts again, as both sides are going to be going back to their respective corners. 35 supply compared to 34. Naga Sea Witch slowing things down onto those skeletal minions. Those units are now pulling back again. I wonder if we're ever going to see Mana Shield actually be used now that Mana Shield is incredibly more efficient. But then again, if your Naga Sea Witch is in danger of dying, you are probably in a bad situation already. It's not one of those abilities that lets you it's supposed to be a comeback ability or keep your Naga Sea Witch alive, but a Naga Sea Witch without mana is also just altogether not that useful. Anyways, Ogre Lord gonna go ahead and take mana burns. Let's look at those. The archer's gonna go ahead and poke that down without much of an issue. Wow, that Ogre Lord down to 5 hit points finally gets taken out. Hood of Cunning and Tome of Strength +2 dropped back the side there. Ogre Magi now taken out. Rune of Healing should quickly get picked up after this creep camp is done, as you see a Gargantuan Sea Turtle now getting cleared out. Lich with that -5 armor, making short work of that unit there. Scroll of the Beast now picked up, as who has the advantage? This Naga Sea Witch almost at level 3. Meanwhile, this Lich is just not even halfway to level 2 yet. Does Mana Shield cost mana to activate like Immolation, or is free to use? You know what? I really don't know, because I've never seen Mana Shield ever used in a professional game. It was just absolutely horrific in terms of value. I believe the new Mana Shield actually translates much more better mana to hit points. So it actually makes sense to use a Mana Shield, level 1 Mana Shield, and then use a Potion of Mana versus a Potion of Healing. Rejuvenation onto that Demon Hunter into that front line, trying to finish off more units here. Demon Hunter sitting at level 3, does have a Ring of Regeneration in addition to Rejuvenation, trying to finish things off. Is he going to be able to finish off that low hit point ghoul? He will not, as the units are now looking to get back again. All right, let's take a look. Demon Hunter trying to chase after that Lich. Lich is in a little bit of trouble, but that Demon Hunter is a bit slowed. Mana burn followed by a heal, though, keeps that unit alive. All right, Lich now looking to get back away. Druid of the Claw now heading back off to the north. Will he be able to head or get away? That is the quick question right there. Rejuvenation onto the Druid of the Claw. Druid of the Claw in a lot of trouble. Could get taken down to 115 hit points. And, well, anytime you lose a Druid of the Claw, that is very, very problematic. Dryads, not unable to get the Roar, the Devour magic from the Destroyer. Does he get it? Yes, he does. But perhaps should have engaged or taken a little bit of damage first while attacking and then devoured magic, as he would have healed much of that damage anyways. All right. Druid of the Claw now looking to push back the other way. This Druid of the Claw is perhaps waiting for a regeneration, but is not happening. 120 has the smaller army, but with home field advantage, able to push back. All right, Death Knight going up against the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter, Death Knight, who's going to win out on this fight? Demon Hunter could try and mana burn down this Death Knight. Death Knight very low on hit points. Orb Obsidian Statue getting in harm's way and able to protect him. Meanwhile, the Lich doesn't have that much armor. Death Knight is going to be able to get a Death Coil off onto that Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter down to 332 hit points. And it looks like it will be able to retreat again. Are we going to perhaps get a rejuvenation steal? Yes, we are. That Demon Hunter, who looked like such a big threat, all of a sudden, well, needs to retreat back as all of that precious hit points is now gone. Destroyer trying to get overhead. You see an expansion trying to come across here. The ghouls are now need to get away as the obsidian, well, one frostworm shows up to the party and is now ruining everyone's day. If you are a night elf, there goes another night elf right there. Dryad should be able to poke that apart, but at some point I am expecting to see some Crypt Fiends join in on the fight, or maybe even some meat wagons. Siege damage so powerful, and the range making problems for those Dryads. All right, let's go ahead and go after that unit. A quick slow there. However, the Frostworm needs to head back, get back over to the trees where they are currently out of sight, but still within relevant range to focus down some units. All right, all this is really doing is buying time for the Undead do a little bit more creeping, and that's all you really want. The Lich is now sitting at level 2. Units now need to make their way back over. One Obsidian Statue and the Death Knight, 120 with a 50 over 50 supply. He does have a slight economic advantage as the Gargantuan Sea Turtle gets taken down. Lich holds steady at level 2. Death Knight needs to get to level 4. Oh, Dryad is right here. That could cause problems. Gets the last shot off once more. Death Coil saves the Lich. Death Knight is in trouble. Is he going to perhaps use a Squirrel Town Portal in order to get away? Going after the bear. Is there going to be a Staff of Preservation? Death Knight, oh no, unable to finish it off as the Death Knight now is going to be forced to use a Squirrel Town Portal in order to live and fight another day. Dryad almost gets taken down as bears take a little bit of damage as well. Obsidian Statue and a Crypt Fiend hiding outside the base off over here, not part of the fight. Those units just completely out of position, and that could have been one of the major problems. Death Knight could consider using a potion of mana right now in order to Death Coil and heal up a low hit point Frostworm. Also, the Death Knight himself is low on hit points, and he needs to figure out a way to put in a lot of pressure. All right, Goblin Tinker. Unusual, unorthodox third hero coming across as the Tree of Life could get taken down very fast. All right, are we going to see a Squirrel Town Portal? No, this is just going to absolutely get destroyed before it even gets there. Let's take a look at this Tree of Life, down to 283 some odd hit points. The units are now coming back the other way. Demon Hunter shows up. Orb of Venom, mana burn onto some of those units as the Death Knight, it looks as though he's going to get the killing blow off on that Tree of Life. Units now looking to get back away. Frostworm's able to fly over the trees and get to relative safety. Beautifully done by 120. He had everything to lose in that fight, a high-risk maneuver, but shutting down the economic advantage and making it, well, even is definitely going to save him some trouble. Destroyers come down across over here, quickly realize, hey, that expansion has already been cleared. No easy creep camps there. Meanwhile, Death Knight, I believe he sold that Wand of Mana Stealing, picks up a potion of mana instead, and now just going to go after a full Moonwell, knowing that, well, this Moonwell could come back to haunt him. Demon Hunter coming in from the back. Demon Hunter seeing that level 4. Are we going to get a mana burn? Yes, we are. But it was on the Obsidian Statue, I believe. Units are now looking to get back every which way as the, well, Frostworms are slowly but surely regenerating those hit points. Goblin Tinker still, well, low on mana. What is his follow-up play going to be? Back down to the south here. 59 supply compared to 65. 65 is 120. The Undead, he has a slight supply advantage. And, well, that's also curious to note since Colorful also had the economic advantage and more workers. All right, Colorful looking to clear out the top right-hand side of the map. If he's able to get those items, well, this is going to perhaps be the tipping point and the most important fight. Whoever has this is going to have a major advantage coming up into the next battle. Let's take a look at this. All right, the Frostworm's trying to get in position. That army of Dryads perhaps is just far too many, as UT archers are going to get taken down extremely fast. Death Knight down to 300, down to 200 hit points, needs to get away, down to 205 as the units are now backing up here. The army of Dryads is just simply too much of an issue as the Goblin Tinker gets taken down by a mana burn. Meanwhile, Staff of Preservation is keeping the bears alive as the Death Knight is unable to do very much. Colorful is in the driver's seat. He has the better units for this fight, and he knows that he can stick around. Lich gets mana burn, is going to be in a bit of trouble. There goes an Abomination. Bear is now chasing after some of those Crypt Feeds, and the Crypt Fiends are actually, well, no, not going to get taken down. At least not yet. Ogre Lord still joining in on the fight. Demon Hunter sitting at 116 hit points, needs a rejuvenation, needs something in order to stick around a little bit longer. Demon Hunter, is he going to be able to get to level 5? Yes, he will. Level 5 on that Demon Hunter as a bear gets taken down. Death Knight gets to level 4. Staff of Preservation takes the Demon Hunter back home as the Dryads are now doing a beautiful pincer move. And this game is just going so well for Colorful. Yeah, 120 is in a world of hurt as trying to retreat means that you're going to be running past all of your units there. Death Knight uses the Scroll of Town Portal, but too little, too late. Teleports with 5 units only. All right, 120 sitting at 50 supply compared to 57. Goblin Tinker getting resurrected. Things are not looking good for 120. Colorful having a clear advantage here. Unholy Aura on the Naga Sea, which enables faster movement as well. As you can take a look, there are still some very good creep camps all across the map to clear. Fallout, good to see you as well. Thank you for tuning in. As we're I guess you missed the big bit train earlier. As this. Is this really a 1 hit point Frostworm? Oh, Naga Sea Witch could have gotten a final shot off there. Frostworm now going to be heading back. A 1 hit point Frostworm able to head back home. Death Knight, Goblin Tinker, Lich. 120 will really have to work some undead magic in order to get back into this game. He has a lot of ground to cover and to make up. A lot of micro has to go his way here if he wants to get back into this game. He is currently down on supply and behind in level. That Demon Hunter sitting at level 5 and that Naga Sea Witch also sitting at level 5. He is going up against a level 4, I believe a level 3, and a level 1 Goblin Tinker.
Our forces are under attack.
Units still maneuvering here. Expansion coming in from Colorful. No expansion off over here, even though it is on the mini-map. Let's take a look at what's happening next. 48 over 70 48 over 70 supply with over almost 1,200 gold. No meat wagons still, and that is the big issue. Those Dryads are just causing so many problems, but then again, the Dryads are fast-moving units and can really chase after those meat wagons fairly fast. All right, Frostworms getting into position. Handful of Frostworms taken down. Or was this one of the earlier Frostworms? I believe so. Perhaps it just got burst healed by a Death Knight who is now currently low on mana. Does creep work on air units? Yes, it does. All right. Lich going after the Ogre Warrior. Frostworms making short work of this creep camp. Level 2 on a Goblin Tinker, but is that going to make any sort of real difference? Back at the other side, Death Knight going after another difficult creep camp here. And this may be just enough of a catch-up to make a difference. Let's take a look at this. We see an army of Dryads here. We still don't see a meat wagon. That I am surprised about. But then again, there's no easy way to slow down Dryads, and that is a big problem. Tome of Knowledge just going to be left behind as we take a look at the army now making their way across. Over almost 1,800 gold for the Undead side, and that means that's 3 minutes of mining that is gone completely just sitting in the coffers. Scroll of Town Portal coming across. Slaughterhouse now, well, Slaughterhouse about to get taken down. Still operational here as we are looking at only a handful of seconds, or what, a minute and a half left for this mining. Undead sitting on base, and he has no easy way of, well, clearing or setting up an expansion. What you see is what you're going to get, and Colorful with the expansion should have the advantage, and also has the army size advantage, and also has, yes, he also has the hero advantage. That is the trifecta for Warcraft 3 games. Army size, economic advantage, and hero advantage. That is just often far too much to try and overcome. Short of, well, 120, Colorful falling asleep at the wheel, I cannot imagine Colorful losing this matchup. 2-1 upgrades with Ancients of Wind now getting added. Shade keeping track of expansion locations, realizing, wait a second, you know what? This expansion is, I don't believe he's actually scouted it out. Druid of the Claw now making its way over. Demon Hunter now making its way over as well. Destroyers are here ready to go. We are getting up an Abomination, and we're finally going into 64 supply. This is going to be a calculated attack. 120 wants to get into an 80 over 80 supply army, and he's going to do it. He's going to do it with every single bit of gold he can do. He is evading taxes for all the purposes in order to build a large army while not having to pay taxes, since he has no income.
The sleeper awakes.
All right, we see double meat wagons here, double abominations. It is just going to be a matter of time. And does he realize this? Does Colorful realize this, or does Colorful just want to think to himself, you know, I have the economic advantage. I have a second gold mine getting established up on the opposite end. I know my opponent does not have an expansion. I don't need to go into his house. I don't need to try and stop him. I know I have the larger army. Let's take a look at this. He is going into high upkeep now, and well, yeah, high upkeep now. 120 is at 81, while Colorful is at 90 over 100. And this is going to be off of, well, 2 bases here once this Entangled Gold Mine is completed. Shade keeping track of everything. Let's take a look at how this is going to be boiling down here. Druid of the Claws, an army of Dryads, meat wagons. If both meat wagons get out onto the field, and with 4 Crypt Fiends, they do not have weapons upgrades, but it still just might be enough. Extremely difficult to tell. As the Acolytes, are they going to try to start unsummoning buildings as well? I do not know. All right. 4 Frostworms with slow attack. Those bears are going to have a very bad day. Only 1 Staff of Preservation, and that is on the Naga Sea Witch. Naga Sea Witch also has 720 mana. Incredibly high mana. As you take a look, there is a Roar. We should be see a Devour Magic here. Orb of Venom turning things back around as we take a look at a little bit of slow coming across. All right, meat wagons are in the backfield lobbing their attacks. Slow, Staff of Preservation not in time. There goes Acolytes. Acolytes just getting caught up in everything. Abomination in that front line. Another bear could get taken down. Frostworms are going after the bears like it's going out of style as the bears are taken down one by one. But are the Crypt Fiends going down as well? Yes, they are. Are the Dryads? That ultimately may be the final fight. Dryads versus Destroyers and Frostworms. And we know who wins in that fight as the Hippogriffs are getting taken out as well. Crypt Fiend after Crypt Fiend being lost. 74 supply compared to 82. Dryads are poisoned, but they don't seem to care. They're diving after units. Demon Hunter with a mana burn. Staff of Preservation saves. Lich comes back around, trying to finish off more units. There goes another bear. Both armies are getting destroyed. Colorful, however, able to replace some of it. And without the Demon Hunter, with the Demon Hunter still alive, it is not going to feed experience. Lich stays alive, but it's not going to stick around for very long. Cyclone now. Monsoon being used. All right, Monsoon being used, picking up random units. The Monsoon is still being channeled as it is finally going to come to an end. That Monsoon is just back across over there. Lich is going to die, and that is going to be the end of that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Monsoon. It took me a second to realize. I'm like, Cyclone? Who has Cyclone? I was looking for, like, Earth, Storm, and Fire from the Panda. I'm like, oh. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.